Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Big Dave from Mad Rock 1025, and I'm joined by Zach over at Katy Country, which I love. You're going to see on the screen here. He put his middle name up there. But we are here for our March Teacher of the Month announcement. Of course, our Teacher of the Year program is brought to you by our good friends at Night Furniture and Mattress, Pediatric Dentistry of Sherman, and Parkway Buick GMC. So, Zach, I will give you the honor of inviting our teacher up on the screen, and we'll get her up here and talk about her, because people like us, but they're going to love her.
Well, I feel like, first off, I feel like you're shaming me because of my middle name of Eleanor. And
that's not how you spell Eleanor.
It was my great-great-great-grandfather's name.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Anyways, yes, very, very excited for our teacher once again for this month. And we got to talk about the phone conversation that I initially had with her once we get her on here. But we have Johnette Hancock from Sherman High School. Johnette,
welcome.
Hey.
What's going on? What are you doing? What in the heck is behind you right there?
Quadratic equations. That's math. That's algebra.
Yeah, that's today's lesson. We're going to be talking about how to transform the parent function.
The quadratic equation?
Oh, come on. You know what a quadratic formula is, don't you?
No. My wife does.
You would have had to have passed algebra to get out of high school. You at least did that, yes? No?
But he slept since then, so it leaked out into his pillow.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what it was. No, I don't remember anything about algebra, Dave, but that is on me because I didn't have a great teacher like Johnette from Sherman High School, because I imagine, and by the way, she's in the classroom right now with her kiddos, so they can probably attest to the fact
that
she's
quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, like a library, have to be quiet.
Don't yell or anything. But Dave, I need to tell you about my conversation with Johnette. I'm pretty sure that she thought I was pranking her. When I would let her know that she was our March Teacher of the Month. I'm pretty sure she was talking so high that only dogs could hear it because she was so excited. And Johnette, I know that you were very excited on the phone with me, but you were probably pretty pumped to tell people once you got off the phone with me a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I sort of went through some stages. I don't know if it's, like similar to the stages of grief, but there was disbelief at first because it really did look like spam. And I was like, is this a prank? This has got to be a joke. And so then I called and it went to voicemail. I'm like, okay, so it's totally a prank. And then you called me back. I was like, oh my God. So then I was in denial, I think, for part of the time we were talking, which was why the range of my voice just kept getting higher, because I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? I feel like that's all I said to you for a good 5 minutes. And then when I did finally, come to grips with the fact that it was true, I had my emotional crying fit because I'm a sap. And yeah, when I was telling people, I was like, I'm sure these people think I'm dumber than a box of rocks, because all I could say was, are you sure? Are you serious? So yeah, that was interesting. And I did tell everybody. I posted it on Facebook. I posted the link for you guys on Facebook. I sent the link to my children's cell phones and asked them if they could get out of class to watch Mother.
That's awesome. Did you have to tell your kids via Snapchat?
No, I did not tell them via Snapchat. I don't do Snapchat. I can't get into it. I tried.
You didn't do a dancing TikTok video to announce the fact that you're doing this? I'm disappointed.
I know the world is missing out on me dancing in a TikTok video. I'm sure the angels are crying right now.
Yeah.
Waiting.
So let's talk about you as a teacher. How long have you been a teacher now?
This is year number 19.
19. Wow. And have you been a math teacher that entire time?
No.
No? What did you teach before math?
I was a band director before I taught math. Yeah.
All right. Now we're talking something I know a little bit about.
Yeah.
I was a band director in Blue Ridge, Texas, which is over there. Very tiny town. They have a Winkin' Light.
Okay.
So what made you?
Now they have a Dollar General. They're growing.
So how did you go from being a band director to wanting to teach algebra?
Because God's funny and he's got a sense of humor and likes to pick on me.
Okay.
Yeah. So the school district needed another math teacher, and I needed an assistant band director. And the superintendent that we had at the time said, I'm really sorry, we can't afford to buy you an assistant because we need to buy a math teacher. And so I said, well, if I help out in the math department, can you help me out? Because the program had gotten bigger than I could handle all by myself. So he said, go take the test, and if you pass, we'll talk. So I signed up to take the math certification exam, and the curriculum coordinator over there at the time was one of my band students' mothers. And she comes and she says, when you go take that test, can you just take the ESL one too? And so, and she was, I love that lady. She was awesome. And yeah, so I sat for the ESL test and I passed them both. And I started teaching 6th and 7th grade math that very next year while still doing band. And then I had a son. He was 3 weeks old and I brought him to band camp. And, you know, just life happens. And I ended up in McKinney. And when I went interviewed in McKinney, it was a job fair. And the gentleman who was very intimidating asked me, you know, which one do you want to interview for, band or math? And I'm like, both. And he said, no, you need to pick one. He scared the ever-living tar out of me. And I'm like, math, I picked math. And he's like, okay, go down the hall. And I met a lady named Nancy Richards. Well, her last name was at the time, but it's Hale now. And fell in love with her. She was awesome when we chatted. And then I got hired in McKinney, and I've been doing math ever since. I got to be part of a math collaborative for 3 to 10, where I got to develop my math knowledge and learn from people from 3rd grade all the way up through instructional coaches. So I'm like a education hoarder.
I understand.
So do you ever go in there and talk to Ryan Jenkins and be like, hey, maybe you should like give him some suggestions for like, well, concert season's coming up, you know, Mr. Jenkins. So maybe you can do some of that stuff. Or I don't know, marching season's coming up. We can do this one. Maybe we can do an Elvis show next year. What do you think, Mr. Jenkins?
Well, and there's a couple of band kiddos in here. I don't have to give him suggestions. That man's a rock star. He's really good. And as far as show ideas, Mr. Camp is one of the assistant directors and does the color guard stuff. He's super impressive. So I don't have to give them suggestions. I'd be happy to give them my opinion if they ask for a critique or whatever. But as far as suggestions, they definitely don't need that. And what I've discovered over the years, I'm a much better math teacher than I ever was band director. And I'm still in touch with several band kiddos that I had, and you know, they're grown now. And they're like, but you know what? You were awesome. You were awesome. You can't be better. I think I'm better at math teaching than band directing.
So how long have you been at Sherman High School now?
This is year number 2 at Sherman High School.
Awesome.
And we're in our brand new state-of-the-art building.
Right.
So
you got those boards, you know, there's no longer like the chalkboards. Now you got the smart boards behind you, which I think is awesome. Yeah.
Well, and this isn't an official smart board. It's like a big, gigantic iPad. You can touch it. You can write on it. Today it's running a little slow because it's Tuesday and technology has decided that it hates me. The copy machine hates me today. Happy Tuesday. But then we've got whiteboards on every wall. Now my room is special. I don't have whiteboards on 2 of the walls because being in the middle, this is supposed to be the safe room in case bad things happen. So
do you teach just Algebra 1 or do you teach other algebra classes?
This year, I'm just teaching Algebra 1. Last year, I got to teach geometry and math models and a little bit of finance math.
I'm sweating a little bit, Dave.
Yeah, it's all right. So I was telling her before we went live that before you even got in here, Zach, I was like, you know, as much as people, and I'm sure she's heard every joke, every comment about being a math teacher and how people run away from her when they find out what she does and everything. But I can say that I never thought I could actually say this out loud, but I use algebra in my day-to-day life at work doing the things that we do. I mean, some of the calculations we have to make with how our broadcast, you know, how far do our broadcast signals go? And that's dependent upon what and all of that uses algebra. So I never thought that I would actually have to admit this in public, but I do use algebra day to day, write that down somewhere. And I'm sure people do too. And yeah, exactly. All of her class is still in there. So which class is it in there? They're freshmen, right?
This is a freshman pre-AP Algebra 1 class.
Pre-AP. What is a pre-AP? I don't even know what that means. I guess I'm out of the loop. What is that? Pre-AP.
AP is advanced placement, and there are extra tests and stuff that AP students have to take.
Yeah.
Through I want to say it's through College Board. I've never gotten to teach an AP class. I've gotten to do the pre-AP, and what pre-AP means is just that they learn the same content, but they get extensions and higher rigor material. So I get to stretch their knowledge maybe into other areas, and I have to make a more concerted effort to make connections within this content and with others. So we might connect to science. And
so if we put it on the level of how much Zach would cry if he was in the class, so regular algebra would be just a regular amount of crying. Pre-AP algebra would be a constant crying, and then AP algebra would be him screaming down the hall, "I can't take this anymore!" Just falling. Right. So that's sort of the level here. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good analogy.
But
he'll be happy to hear this one. Are you ready, Zach? You're going to be happy to hear this.
Yes, I'm ready.
There's not an AP Algebra 1 class. So you either get regular or you get pre-AP. So you would be safe there.
Okay.
He's got this look of, no, not good.
I feel like my mind went to screensaver mode when y'all started talking about all this stuff. And I feel like that I am a fish out of water when it comes to all of this. But at least the only question I know that I can ask is, when you were growing up, did you immediately know that you wanted to be in education, or did you flirt with other occupations for a little bit?
So when I was really little, I remember playing school with all of my stuffed animals and dolls and stuff. I would set them all up and give them little paper, and I would take roll with my little dolls. But I was actually going to Vanderbilt University on a biology pre-med scholarship. So I was going to be a doctor. And then my senior year of high school, I had a really bad band director. His first name was Doctor, so he thought he, walked on water and stuff, and he mistreated people quite a bit. And I yelled at him and the principal and told him I was going to come back and take his job because no kid deserved to have a teacher like him. So I changed my major and I went to Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and became a band director.
Now, did you say Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I was going to go to Vanderbilt.
Okay, so in Northwest, are these high schools? I'm not familiar.
Those are colleges. Those are colleges.
Oh, college. Okay, something else I'm not familiar with. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Man, I'm a little depressed here. I mean, I'm glad Johnette and Dave are having fun, but
yeah, I'd been accepted to Vanderbilt, and then I declined the scholarship and went to Northwestern with the best sounding band in the land.
Yeah, I love that, though. That's so cool that you ended up going into the band thing, and then you're now into the algebra thing. So just very, very talented all around. Now, Johnette, I remember telling you who nominated you. Did you ever figure that out?
Yes. One of my colleagues told me that I could go into a contact search and look up her name and figure out which kid she belonged to. So I did, and I called her and I told her thank you, and then I told her I can't believe she actually filled out that form because it was really long, because I went and looked at it. I couldn't help myself. And she proceeded to tell me some of the nicest things that I've been told in ages and ages all at one time. So it was emotion overload, and I don't know that I have enough words to express my gratitude for her taking her time to fill out the form and thinking that I deserved even a nomination. I mean, it's overwhelming. Not going to do it.
We wish that we could, give these kinds of awards to many more teachers, but we have to limit it to one per month. And I can say from what we read and from what we've experienced, even on this interview, it is well deserved. Teacher of the Month award that you get. Now, the cool thing is thanks to our sponsors who make this program possible, not only do you get to do this live interview with us, which is always a fun experience for most of us anyway.
Except for Zach.
You also get $750 from our sponsors, which is amazing. And so Zach and I have a question that we always ask our teachers, and that is, what do you plan on doing with that $750?
Okay. Okay, this one's a hard one. Okay,
Yeah.
I was not prepared for this
Spot.
question.
Yeah, hot seat question.
I know this one's difficult. Okay, so my colleague next door, Mr. Welsh, he told me that I had to spend it on myself.
Some of it, at least, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, but the problem is my daughter's turning 16 in 2 weeks and she needs a car. So I think I might end up spending some of it there, but I really like playing games with my kids and giving them food. I know, I'm not supposed to give them food, but I can't help myself because it's fun to watch them eat junk food and pick candy. So I've made multiple trips to the QT down the street, and God love them, whenever they see me, they're like, oh, are you going to beat your record from last time? Heck yes, let's try. And then I mound it all up on this table right here, and the kids come in. So I think I'm going to spend some of it on some more treats for my kiddos because it's fun. I don't know.
It's a common, don't feel bad, because it's a common answer. I mean, every one of our teachers says they're going to do something for the classroom, something for the kids. And so that's why we always encourage, like, spend at least, go on a like a spa day just for yourself, you and your spouse or whatever. You spend that much money on yourself, and then you do with the rest of it whatever you want.
Well, it's funny you mentioned spa day. So yesterday was my birthday, and my dear husband surprised me with a massage at a spa. So that was my gift from him. I don't have to spend it on that because he already bought one for me.
Okay, steak dinner then? A nice romantic dinner out with you and your husband then, maybe.
We're going to have to maybe bring a friend, because the 2 times we tried to go out to eat, he got sick on one and I ended up in the hospital on the second one. So we don't have no more date nights. So if somebody's about to be broken, sick, hurt, we're going to go out as a group. Safety in numbers.
On second thought, just put it all on the down payment of your daughter's car. I think that'll work.
That might be the safest bet. It might be the safest bet. Keep everybody healthy.
Well, again, congratulations on being nominated for our Teacher of the Year program and being selected for March. Now, the cool thing is now you're also eligible for our Teacher of the Year award, which will do an online banquet sort of like this in May. And so you have a chance to win that award plus another $750 that you're now eligible for. So should be fun.
Wow.
Also, another requirement too is, Johnette, is you have to stick around your current position until my oldest boy is able to get to your location.
How many years is that?
How many years?
Well, he's third grade, but I mean it's not that far.
It's only 6. It's only 6.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave Sherman High School. I don't. I absolutely love it here. I love the administration here. They're fantastic. My colleagues are amazing. The kids here are, I'm telling you, I really think I'm spoiled. They pick all the good ones for me. If they keep doing that, then I have all the best kids. So why would I want to leave that? I don't want to leave Sherman. So if I get to stay in the algebra classroom indefinitely, then yay. If I get to move into an instructional coach position and get to help more teachers and thus help more kids, then yay, sign me up for that. But no, I don't want to leave Sherman. I like it.
Well, we'll talk to you in 6 years.
Yeah. Keep up with me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations. And I guess we've given your kids almost a 20-minute respite here of not having to do actual classwork.
That was my whole goal.
We'll let you get back into teaching mode here. But again, if any of you out there watching right now know of a teacher who deserves special recognition, like we have every month, our Teacher of the Month, and why don't you nominate them? Fill out that form up on our website. It's either 931kmkt.com or madrock1025.com. And again, thanks to our sponsors of our Teacher of the Year program, Night Furniture and Mattress, Pediatric Dentistry of Sherman, and Parkway Buick GMC.